Good morning, dear IUL students. Welcome to this last session for CV and interview preparation. This will be the cherry on the cake, entrepreneurship. I will present it a bit different than you are used to. I will not tell you how to open a business or how to prepare a financial statement. There are people who can do that better than I can. What I will present to you is what an entrepreneur must think, what an entrepreneur must feel like, and how you can discover your inner entrepreneur. So, entrepreneurship. I want to become one, and I want to have my own business and make a lot of money. What we must keep in mind, dear students, is that times are very tough in Namibia. But the age-old saying goes, out of tough times, strong people are born. I'm going to share with you a few facts in our current economy. Retrenchments are being performed every day in our economy. Retrenchments are being performed every day in Windhoek, in Swakopmund, right throughout Namibia. This is a fact. So more and more people are losing their work. Big companies like Bidvest, Meetco, and government are letting people go simply because there's not enough money to afford these people that they do budget cuts. In times where you have no other choice than to be creative, true entrepreneurs will be born. So although the economy is not at its best, these are actually very exciting times when you have your back against the wall, you have no other choice, employment is taking longer than usual. Your inner true entrepreneur will be born, and some wonderful business ideas will come out of need, will come out of desperation, and will come out of making money. So, dear students, what is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person that has a vision that many people do not have. The key word here is you must have a vision, even if other people don't see it, even if other people don't believe in it. Your vision must be your goal, must be in your heart, must be in your mind. It is an individual who will not be deterred to start his or her dream and make it big. No matter what people say, no matter how many negative comments you get. For every business, there are 20 arguments not to start this business. But a true entrepreneur is an individual who will not be deterred to start his or her dream and make it big, make some money, live your vision one day. It is also a person that takes financial and business risks in the hope of making a profit. So dear students, taking risks is something which we don't like to do. People are comfortable, people want to do what they are used to, and they don't want to take any risks. However, an entrepreneur is a person who takes risks to realize his vision, to realize his dream, either financial or business risk, to start what he or her truly has in her heart. However, common mistakes that Namibian entrepreneurs make. We tend to say that Mr. X down the street is making very good money while selling potatoes, and I will do the same. Then I can also make good money, I can start a business, and I call myself an entrepreneur. This is not entrepreneurship. This is simply called copying an idea and running with somebody else's idea. So you won't have it in your heart, you won't have it in your head. And I must stress here that making money, yes, there is the reward of entrepreneurship, but it should not be the goal of entrepreneurship. As we go along in the presentation, you will understand what I mean. People also tend to say, well, I will buy something and I will resell it for a profit. Again, this is not entrepreneurship. This is called buying and selling. I think the best example we have here are recharge vouchers. So many people sell recharge vouchers. Somebody started it, he made a bit of money, and many people in Namibia copied this idea just to make a living. However, this is called buying and selling. It will not really contribute your idea, your vision to the Namibian economy. And buying and selling, again, not entrepreneurship. Many people say also, I will source something new from China and resell it into our market. Now, if you go on the internet, there are many new products which we don't necessarily have in Namibia. So you want to source something from the overseas market, sell it in Namibia. Again, there are literally hundreds of Chinese shops in Namibia. They will sell that product cheaper than you, and they will sell it with a better established network than you ever can have in the beginning of your business. So again, forget that idea. This is not entrepreneurship. This is just called sourcing and reselling. To be a true entrepreneur, you need an idea. So how do you go about this idea? First of all, you must consider a few facts for the Namibian market. Number one, Namibia is first and foremost a tourist destination. Very interesting statistic. Last year we had over 1 million German, only tourists from Germany visiting our country. Over 1 million people. Now these are people who are here on holiday. These are people who saved up their money to fly to Namibia, and they have money in their pockets. So if you think along the lines of entrepreneurship, do not forget the tourist market. Namibia is also a country where cheap novelty items from China or from India are already very well covered. So you get your Pakistani, your Indian, your Chinese shops all over Namibia, from the smallest to the big towns like Windhoek. They already have a very well established network, and they have these cheap novelty items which 15 years back were very desirable for our market. However, this is not something where you can make money with. Again, this is not called entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur likes to keep his or her head open all the time for new possibilities. You must have it in your heart, you must have it in your head, you must have a vision according to what you want to do. I'll give you a few ideas just to show you true entrepreneurship. Number one, we said that Namibia is a tourist destination. Why not open a doll manufacturing business that show dolls in their traditional wear? People, please don't laugh about this idea. It's a true entrepreneurial idea. I think we all grew up with these little Herero dolls in their traditional wear, where literally thousands upon thousands of these dolls were sold to tourists and went with them to Germany. But I've never seen a traditional Ovahimba doll. So the person who manufactures an Ovahimba doll already has a market niche in Namibia for the tourist market to have a true vision, to show cultural differences, and to make money with it at the end of the day. Namibia's population also has very diverse needs. We are so many different cultural groups in one country, but we all have different needs. And I'm touching a bit of a sensitive topic here. Most of the population are using taxi services. Now, taxi services to come from point A to point B, they are becoming increasingly expensive. People cannot move around as much, and we need something cheaper to move the masses. And this is an idea which I actually saw in India, where there are many tuk-tuk or tuk-tuk taxi services. Now, this is a little motorcycle where 2 to 3 people can sit at the backside. And in India, in New Delhi, this is the norm. Tuk-tuks are much cheaper than normal cars. They run much cheaper on petrol. And hence, you can move around from point A to point B at a much cheaper rate than you could do with a normal taxi service. This will not only be a trendsetter in the Namibian market, but it will be a very big tourist destination as well. The tourists are sitting at the back of a motorcycle. They can actually look about, round and about, while saving money. And it's an experience riding with one of these tuk-tuks. Again, dear viewership, this is called entrepreneurial spirit and not copy and paste. We are still staying on the tourist market, and these are a few ideas which I'm rehearsing, which I'm giving you, just that you can get the taste of what an entrepreneur should feel like in his heart, should think like with his head. Many tourists visiting Namibia are actually camping in Namibia. They want to be in the bush. They have the whole African-Namibian experience. But never have I seen a homestead up in the north turned into a camping site where the tourists can camp, where the tourists can see traditional Oshivambo life with the huts, with the food. So why not take your homestead, which many times are not being used optimally, and turn it into a camping site for Namibian tourists? The capital outlay on such a camping site won't be as big, and most of your capital will go into advertising, and it will pay off 10 times, I promise you. To think along these lines, this is called true entrepreneurship. To keep your eyes open all the time for new possibilities where you can benefit the population, where you can benefit your country while making money at the same time, is called true entrepreneurship. Common mistakes that entrepreneurs make. They want to start too big, too fast, with only the best. And I can't really blame the people. Most of the entrepreneurs walk out of an established business and they want the best office furniture for their own business. They want the best staff for their own business. So they want to start too fast, too big, with only the best. This costs money. They want to employ a lot of staff. Again, I can't blame people for that, because they want to be in charge, they want to be a boss, and they want to have staff under them. But, dear viewers, staff costs money. They tend to open bank accounts. They tend to open accounts with various suppliers, which later on, once the business takes a dip, and not all businesses perform very well all the time, and then they sit and cannot pay their bills. If you don't believe me, just open the newspaper every day. On the legal section, you will see many businesses who cannot pay their bills, who fail because they opened accounts with the whole of Namibia and they are unable to pay these accounts. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur works from 6 o'clock the morning to 8 o'clock or even later in the evening, 7 days a week. So if you want to be a true entrepreneur, forget about holidays, forget about free time. Until your business is established, you work 6 to 8 every day, 7 days a week. However, if your idea, if you truly have a vision, if you truly believe in your idea, these working hours won't be as brutal as they seem. It will be a real pleasure working towards your own business, working towards your own idea. An entrepreneur, dear viewers, and I cannot stress that enough, is seeing something that other people cannot see. seeing an idea, seeing a potential that other people necessarily can't see. People are a very negative breed, and you get many, many people who want to drag you down, who want to tell you all the negative with your new idea. However, it must be so imprinted in your head, must be so imprinted in your heart, that you can see something that other people cannot see as yet. As I mentioned, an entrepreneur also has no public holidays, or no holidays for that matter at all. Of course, you must make time to rest, but the traditional public holiday, or the traditional holiday that you are used to, where you can relax, where you can go with your family. Once you are an entrepreneur, these holidays, these days fall away. So before you start a business, before you want to realize your idea, you must realize that you must work hard towards that idea to really make a success of it. You must be willing to take chances. Nobody of us wants to look like a fool in front of family, in front of mentors, or in front of friends. However, to realize certain ideas, you must be willing to take chances. You must be willing to put yourself out there, to put your idea out there, really believe in it, and make that idea work. Some people may laugh at you in the beginning, but forget about the naysayers, because you have a plan, you have an idea, you are putting yourself out there, and you must be willing to take these chances. You must believe in your idea so strongly that you can almost taste that idea. So I know this is a bit of a cliche, they always say, but believe in your idea so strongly that you can taste that idea, that you can already see your idea 5, 6, 7 years down the line, how it will benefit Namibia, how it will benefit your fellow Namibians, and making money at the same time because of that idea which you put up, which you realized, first of all in your heart, second of all in your head, and third then the actual business. You must be willing to make sacrifices. You must be willing to make sacrifices, meaning not only sacrifices in terms of public holidays, not only sacrifices in terms of brutal working hours, but sacrifices to say there will be some people which you will part ways with. There will be some people who are the naysayers where you will part ways with, just to keep your own sanity, just to keep your positive. If people cannot see what you are seeing, and they constantly drag you down, they constantly criticize you, it is better to part with these people, to make this sacrifice, that you can run with your idea and realize your dream at the end of the day. There will be times, dear viewers, in entrepreneurship where you will fail. Many times even. Many times you will fail as you build this idea, as you go to the nitty-gritty, as you go to the actual part where you must put this up and running. There will be times where you fail. There will be walls where you run into. But the big secret here is, it's not how many times you fail, but it's how fast you get up, that you can learn from your failures and go on with your idea. As you fail, there will also be many times where you will think, if this is all worth it. You are not making money as fast as you thought. There are people who still criticize you. Nobody likes criticism, so there will be times where you think, is this all worth it? But if this idea formed in your heart and in your head, you will know. You get bad days and you get good days. But the good days will carry you through the bad days. And yes, if it's formed in your heart it will be all worth it. Being an entrepreneur, I can only say one line, and this is a borrowed line, but so true for entrepreneurship, is hard times have not come to stay, but come to pass. There will be days which will be difficult, there will be days that are a bit better, but hard times in entrepreneurship have not come to stay, but come to pass. I will be telling you a short story, and this is actually a true story, of two German geologists in German Southwest Africa. When the country was just being colonized, Germany sent various people, and there were various people in search of riches in Namibia. So in 1899, two young Germans came from Germany, and they invested all their savings into prospecting, a mining prospecting license. Copper was very wanted in Germany at the time, and these two young German entrepreneurs, they were looking for copper. They looked for copper in the south of Namibia, actually close to where Oranjemund today is. So they brought all their mules, all their horses and their wagons, and they started digging for copper. After 3 weeks of digging through the sand, they found no copper. And they packed up their things and they said, well, this venture wasn't successful, and we lost all our money, and we will actually go back to Germany. 20 years later, when diamonds were discovered in the area, they actually found the holes where these two young Germans dug for copper. And they saw that these two people literally dug through the diamonds to look for copper. And they missed a wonderful opportunity to become very, very rich. Now, what I want to tell you with this story is that an entrepreneur always must keep his or her eyes open for new opportunities. You have an idea, yes, but don't be blinded by the idea that new opportunities exist in our market. I'm going to tell you a second story of a composer who composed a beautiful piece of music. The funny thing about this composer, while he composed this piece of music, he was deaf. He could not hear a thing. He couldn't hear the notes that he was actually composing. Only 40 years after his death, that piece which he wrote while being deaf was published and is one of the best known pieces today, called For Elise, and the composer, of course, was Beethoven. He believed in his music, in his passion, so strongly that he did not need what we would call the necessities to make his music work, to make his idea work. And if you never heard For Elise, I challenge you to Google it, to listen to it. It's a beautiful piece written by a composer who could not hear a thing. What is the most important asset of an entrepreneur? For this slide, I am demonstrating my own obituary. So I was born in 1979, and hopefully I will die in 2059 or a bit later, then I would be 80 years old. So what is the most important asset of an entrepreneur? And I would like you to look at this slide very closely. The most important part and the most important asset an entrepreneur has is the little dash sign between your birth and between your death. The little dash sign signifies your life, signifies your time between when you were born and when you died. This is the signification of what you have done with your life and how successful you were in life. The dash sign shows how you have spent your time building your idea and building your dream. So time is an asset for any entrepreneur that is widely underestimated. When you build a dream, when you build an idea, you must use your time wisely. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your time on small things that won't bring you much. The dash sign signifies how you have spent your time in life working on your dream, on your career, on your entrepreneurship. The dash sign also signifies what difference you have made with the time you were given in life. I say, luckily, we don't know how long we have to live, and that is why we must make every day count. That is why this dash is so important, to say, I can stand one day and say, I truly worked on my idea. I truly believed in my idea, and I did good with a little dash sign inside. But many people say, well, Sven, yes, I know all of this, but I don't have any money. People, this is a common excuse, and this is no excuse to start building on your dream. To build your dream, you do not need millions of dollars. You can start small. You can start from the humblest of beginnings and gradually work your way up, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger as this idea grows, as other people see it. So to not have money to start something, it's actually no excuse at all. Because with a minimal of investment, with small savings every month, you can start working on your dream and on your idea. I must say to that banks have money, investors have money, friends and family have money. If you must really borrow, these people have money. So, no excuses. Start working on your dream today. People say also, well, I have a certain idea, but I have no experience in the field. I must say, yes, I understand, but you must know your limits as well. I always wanted to be a legal practitioner and advise people on legal matters. But I cannot open a legal firm without being a legal admitted practitioner. I cannot give people advice unless I have studied in the field and actually have done my practicals. So I cannot open a legal firm. I must know my limits. But as they say, there are many fish in the sea. If one idea does not work, there are many others. Know your limits. Know your weaknesses. Your weaknesses are called that exactly for a reason. It's called a weakness. You are not strong in it. So if you are not strong in it, rather leave it for people who can do better where you are weak in. We always tend to say that we want to improve our weaknesses. I say improve your strengths, and you will be better than anybody else if you improve your strengths and don't waste your time on your weaknesses. People tend to say, but I don't know where to start. And again, this is not a session where I will give advice on how to write a business plan or how to get money for your venture. But where to start, it starts in your heart. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. A business plan is very, very important. And it's not only a document for the business. A business plan is a working document which you put up. And as you see new opportunities, you write and plot this down in your business plan. This way you are sure to be kept on track, and you are sure that you don't miss an opportunity when it comes along. So, Now you have your idea, maybe you have a bit of money, and you have a business plan. What happens next? Very easy, you start off. As easy as that. You start off and then you network. By networking, I mean you put your idea out there, you speak to many people as possible, and you build your network that people can get to know your idea, that you can learn from the people how to improve your idea and how to make a success with this idea. It comes down to agriculture. It comes down to working in the garden. You must plant your seeds. When I plant my seeds in the garden, I cannot control the weather. I cannot control if it's sunshine or if it's rain, but I am planting the seed in the hope that it will grow into a beautiful flower one day. Also, when I plant the seed, I cannot control outside factors. I cannot control a terrible wind or terrible drought that will make the seed dead, but I can still plant the seed. I certainly cannot control the outcome. I'm hoping that this seed will turn into a beautiful flower. However, I cannot control the outcome. But if I don't plant a seed at all, there will be no outcome to look forward to. So people, plant your seeds in entrepreneurship every day. Plant your seeds, network, until you see your first leaves grow, until you see your first results on your idea taking shape. And this is not necessarily shape in form of money, but this is taking shape in form of acceptance. This is taking shape in form of more people realizing that you are busy with something very good for Namibia and for the people around you. If at first you do not succeed, then you learn from your mistakes. Then you must be man enough, you must be woman enough to admit your failure. But it does not matter how many times you fall. What matters is how quickly you get back on your feet and try again. Try again on this idea. Yes, you made a mistake. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you went to the wrong sources. But if that idea still is in your heart, you get up, you learn from your mistakes, and you do again. If everybody was as passionate about their business as a true entrepreneur would be, Namibia would today be what they call, the so-called, a first world country. We would have the best customer service. We would have people really passionate about their ideas, bringing it out there and bettering Namibia as a whole. If everybody was passionate about their business, we as Namibia would be trendsetters on the African continent with our business environment. If everybody was passionate about their idea and about their business. It does not start with government. It does not start with big corporations to eliminate poverty. It starts with a single entrepreneur. It starts with a single idea, with a single person to move the economy forward, to know that he or she is in for tough times. But you truly want to contribute. It does not start with government, does not start with big corporations, but starts with a single man who's willing to work hard on his idea and realize his idea. I'm giving you a quick summary of our offer to the Namibian entrepreneurs. We are offering a CD called 101 Business Ideas for Namibia. This CD was researched especially for our market and discussed and bears a stamp of approval from leading Namibian business people. Each idea has a description and why it is good for our market. So these are 101 business ideas which do not yet exist in Namibia. So I'm putting a challenge out there. I'm looking for people to buy the CD. I'm giving a bit of information, a bit of background, a bit of new ideas to view the world a bit differently. I challenge the viewers to put up these businesses, which, by the way, is researched with a minimal amount of investment, and they can either be part-time or full-time. Each idea has a description and why it is good for our market. I'm giving you a bit of a teaser on the business ideas. Craft beer. I'm German, I like to drink my beer. Craft beer is beer that is being brewed in somebody's garage or in somebody's backyard or in a small business. Craft beer until a couple of years ago was not very well known. However, it has taken South Africa by storm, and books are being written about craft beer. Now, beer is easy enough to produce and easy enough to get licensing to brew your own beer. And I'm just giving you a thought here. Just imagine for our tourist market, if a Hendrik Witbooi lager was on the market, you would literally sell thousands and thousands of these bottles. If they don't drink it, they will take it back to Germany for their collections, not necessarily only Germany, but America, England, Japan, wherever the tourists come from. Many people like their craft beer, many people collect these beer bottles, but never have we seen one of the historical figures in Namibia, a Hendrik Witbooi lager, on the market. Another thing, and unfortunately I don't have my cell phone here, but leather cell phone pouches. How many times have you bought a cell phone pouch from a Chinese or from an Indian shop only to discover that the cell phone pouches which you paid good money for are not really good quality? They only last for that long. Never have I seen custom-made leather cell phone pouches in our market with unique Namibian motifs on there. Your own motifs, either the party you belong to, the animal you like. There are so many ideas where genuine leather cell phone pouches will be an absolute market niche for Namibia. Last but not least, on 101 business ideas are used car inspections. So there are so many imported cars that are being bought by our population because they are cheap, because they are affordable. However, with so many cars and with so many, with such a big offer, we need an expert to tell us if this car is actually a good car to buy, or should I rather buy other car. So with so many imported vehicles, why not offer a service for inspection of these vehicles against a small fee? Many cars are being sold in Namibia every day, and such a person will be very busy indeed, either part-time, and it can expand into quite a full-time business with a minimal of investments. Thank you very much. To source our CD 101 business ideas in and for Namibia, you are more than welcome to give me a call. My name is Sven Schulz. My cell phone number 081 564 9817. Alternatively, you can send me an email to Sven, that's SVEN, at getnoticed.com.na. If you're wondering how much the CD cost, we kept it very affordable at 250 Namibian dollars per CDs for 101 business ideas in and for Namibia. Dear viewers, it's been an absolute pleasure presenting this for the IUL students and for the viewership in general. I, at this stage, want to thank IUL for the opportunities. And again, this shows me that IUL is also not only passionate about their students obtaining a qualification, but is passionate about their students actually making a difference in the Namibian economy by finding employment or opening their own businesses. Thank you. Keep well. Goodbye.